Big U ain't going. I mean, I'm not
His
saying that
sealed indictment is now unsealed.
Big U, but at this particular time, he's not in that. He's not. His name isn't listed on the affidavit. He's just inside of it. And I mean, academics is in there. No jumpers in there. Whack 100's name is in there. There's a lot of people's names who's in there who aren't being like associated with the actual names on the top of the affidavit. I just want to make that clear. But let's get it.
Big U's. And that document, that 107-page document, I'm going to get into that later. That's an affidavit to get the indictment. That's not exactly the indictment. Big U did go to court, so I'm going to see if I can see what the actual charges are. That 107-page thing is a report written up by the agent in charge as a report to the judge and the prosecutor. Okay, here's U.S. District Court, Central District, California, October 2024 grand jury. So Brig Babies was indicted, November, December, January, February, March, 5 months ago. So U.S. of America versus Zahir Mitchell, aka Brig Baby, etc. Count 1. On or about July 12th, 2022. Oh, a little background if you don't know. Brig Babies, obviously was a co-host on No Jumper, or he had a few cases in and out. So this is stuff that's all happened since it was out. July 12th, 2022. Zahir Mitchell, a.k.a. Brig Baby, a.k.a. Big Shitty, a.k.a. MPA Shitro, a.k.a. Brig Baby Shitro, knowingly possessed ammunition, 3 rounds of Spear 9mm Luger that was expelled from a firearm he possessed and shot in a business parking lot in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce. So the affecting interstate and foreign commerce, that's the Hobbs Act you've heard about. Tremaine Williams, loose cannon, that's the worst charges facing him. The Hobbs Act's charges are the worst charges, I think. We're going to get into whether Big U was actually charged with murder. They're just alleging it. I don't think he's charged. The Hobbs Act is bad. Hobbs Act says robberies or extortion that impact interstate or foreign commerce. And one thing you don't want to do in the United States is mess with the money. You can do anything else. Don't mess with business. That's why these federal charges are bad. When you're doing wire fraud in different states, you're...
All right.
President Trump doesn't wait, he works. And for American patients, he works at lightning speed. He cut red tape and saved millions of lives. It's the Subaru Alexa Love event going on at Sheehy Subaru of Springfield. Hurry in today and choose.
All right, he getting on my nerves a little bit.
Y'all hit them like, subscribe to the channel.
I might have to do my own version here. All right, so listen. I'm gonna start it off myself.
Hit them likes and subscribe to the channel, y'all.
Listen, on about July 12, 2022 in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California. And I hope y'all can see this good because I kind of got it blocked with me. So hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. So this is what the paperwork is saying. Let's get to the bottom of it. Is Brig Baby telling or not? Whack 100 is adamant. I mean, from what I heard, now if he didn't change it up, he didn't change it up. But to me, it sounded like Whack was saying that Brig was telling. So let's kind of get to that.
He said he was working. That's what he said. Hit those likes, y'all.
July 12, 2022, in Los Angeles County, within the Central District of California, defendant Zahir Mitchell, also known as a.k.a. Brig Baby, a.k.a. Big Shitty, a.k.a. MPA Shitro, a.k.a. Shitty Montana, a.k.a. Brig Baby Shitro, knowingly possessed ammunition, namely 3 rounds of Spear 9mm Luger caliber ammunition, which was expelled from a hammer. I'm going to use some slang in here. You already know how I do. That he possessed and let loose into a business parking lot in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce. So, to me, what that actually means is like Brig Baby actually busted that hammer in the commission of actually hitting a lick. You know what I mean? Robbing somebody. All right, it also says defendant, and I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like to me. That's the way I'm interpreting it, right? It also says defendant Mitchell possessed such ammunition knowing that he had previously been convicted of at least one of the following felony crimes, each punishable by a term of imprisonment exceeding 1 year. All right, reckless evading in violation of California Vehicle Section 2800.2 in Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, on or about April 16th of 2010. Now, basically, that was Brick Baby. And I don't know how many of y'all know about Brick, but that was Brick Baby actually going on high speed with the police. It was all over the news. He actually ran up in the building. He stayed up in there. It was a standoff for a brief moment. He called his mom, his parents, his family showed up to the scene or whatever. And eventually, Brick Baby turned himself in. Y'all can go look that up. That stuff is all over the internet, right? All right. Also, possession of a controlled substance. And what they're doing is giving a background of the reason why he wasn't allowed to be in possession of the ammunition or the ammo, right? So this is another case, old case. Possession of a controlled substance in violation of California Health and Safety Code in the Superior Court of the State of California, Los Angeles, County of Los Angeles.
Make a long story short, he wasn't supposed to be in no possession of any firearm, being a felon and all that. But however, man, he's involved now in this case with Big U and them. You know, like he always say, Big U is a big homie, and they do whatever he tell them.
From October.
So he's been involved in a lot of stuff with Big U and them, and this has been the conspiracy
of it
all.
This is what we're talking about. This is what we all here for. This is the case, right? This is like, I guess, a part of the indictment, right? On or about June 23rd, 2023, in Los Angeles County, within the Central District of California, right? It's saying that Brick Baby, aka the defendant Zaire Mitchell, also known as Brick Baby. It goes through all his other names. We ain't gonna keep saying those. Normally possessed the following firearms and
what's up, Fatima?
Each in and affected interstate commerce, right? And foreign commerce, right? And say he had a Ruger, a little 380, right? It gives you the serial number. I said he had a Kenny, 9 milli, gives you the serial number for that. And a Rado, Hell Pump. Basically, you know, he had the chopper. It gives a serial number for that. And then it says, it gives the amount of rounds he had. He had approximately 26 rounds of that stuff. Approximately 32 rounds of the 5.56 for the chopper. It gives the ammo for the 380. He had some more 5.56. He had a couple different brands of the. Oh, he had the 100. He had a couple different rounds, different type of rounds of 5.56. Right. He had some 4.5 stuff. You know, he had a couple different things of that. You know, that's the ammo, right? It says defendant Mitchell possessed such firearms and ammunition, knowing that he had previously been convicted of the following. Then it goes back into, you know, those cases that we already read again. This is just the paperwork. I'm just reading what it is, right? There's a forfeiture allegation in here that they're saying they're going to seek. What is they trying to forfeit from Brick Baby? Let's see. Some type of property they're trying to take from Cuz. If convicted, he has to forfeit the property. Basically, probably what they see. It's probably like the hammers and
the guns,
ammo and stuff like that. But that's all that was in this, right? And I hate to bore y'all with this, but so the reason why I want to bring up this paperwork or whatever on Brick Baby, you know what I mean, is that people are saying like he had this sealed indictment and this was proof that he's telling. Now I want to say Wack did something on Clubhouse talking about Brick Baby's paperwork. Let me see. Exclusive Wack explodes Brick Baby cooperated and has a sealed file in New Jersey. Let's see what this is saying, y'all.
It's Ray PFTV. Hit the block. Let's get right to it.
So you want to talk about that? You know, I'm gonna call a few people, and you know,
that's why I be telling y'all all the time too, man. Be careful what y'all be listening to on these social medias, man, because people get on here lying and shit. You know what I mean? And the shit don't be true. It just be blogging, man.
Let me ask y'all.
Getting views and shit. That's why it takes so long for some people to get actual views, because you know why? Because they truth be truth, and people rather hear a lie than hear the truth. That's why I be telling y'all, pay attention. Ain't nothing in that man paperwork saying that man's snitching. But yet they sitting up there talking about he telling, but all in this paperwork is just the indictment and what's going on. Just because it was a sealed indictment don't mean that he was telling. That's just because the prosecution didn't have everything out to prosecute him with and expose it yet.
In the background talking, right? This is what I want to say about this whole getting out on bail and being in the feds, right? And I'm telling y'all, what I'm about to tell y'all, I'm telling y'all from experience of being around people or being in certain situations where people I know caught fed cases. So, without saying no names, somebody that I know caught a fed case. This is the first personal experience I had with fed cases, and then thereafter, I kind of knew. And then I got nephews that's in the feds too. I got a nephew that's in the feds right now for a Fetty case. So basically, the majority of the time, and I'm willing to go out on a limb and say 99.9% of the time, the feds let you out of jail on some type of bail, even if you pay the bill, even if you post a bill. But normally, if they let you out, I'm gonna be real with y'all. There's some type of cooperation going on, because the feds don't have to let you out. They don't. It's not like a state case where you in a county jail and it's overcrowded. So we don't let so many people out, and even though he got a horrendous crime or he charged with something real crazy, we're going to let this person out anyway, as long as he put up some property. And the feds don't work like that. The feds don't work like that, especially when you get caught with in dope cases. You know what I mean? So I'm giving my perspective from a dope case. 9 times out of 10, if the feds let you out. So 9 times out of 10, 99.9% of the time, if the feds let you out, you working. I'm not going to lie to y'all about that. Now, I'm not saying that Brick was already charged by the feds. I'm not, because
that would be one of the contentions that they try to make with that. Y'all hit them likes, hit them subscriptions, man. This is Big John. I'm out of here.
Present for people to tell. Some people give up their information.